Are we live, Al?
We are live.
Oh man, and here I am revealing that behind the scenes audio that the people who watch the show shouldn't be able to hear. There's no mystery left.
No
Make
mystery.
it a magic show somehow.
Start the show. Take a bow and have a good night.
Also, true to form, this is the point in the show where nobody says anything despite the fact that it's our cold open.
You're welcome.
Well, we wouldn't want to buck tradition at this point, right? We're going on what, 8 months now?
Yep. Yeah, we don't want to ruin it. So, minute and 15.
Awesome, thank you very much. Minute 15.
All the chats are going.
Great, and we got Twitch and YouTube.
Correct.
Up and up. Man, we are getting too good at this, Al.
Don't jinx this, Chris.
I know.
Do I have time to put on pants?
As long as I have to take off hands.
You know, unfortunately, Tim, you don't. And there's going to be a point in the show tonight where you are just going to be letting it hang. So I didn't reveal that game yet, but
It's so cold.
it's you're going to be doing a lot of TikTok dances that require a lot of shimmying. So
Rhode Island is
30
not the
seconds,
same.
Chris.
30 seconds. Thank you, Al.
Hey, just a quick one. We can swear, right? Like I've seen other teams swear on your show.
Yeah, we try to keep it PG-13 if we can. That's about it.
You can get one F-bomb to Char.
What?
Nice.
You
can
can,
drop
you can drop some F-bombs, it's fine.
Yeah, we're not hard asses here.
You can drop the
Thank you. 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right, well, if you're going to pre-program some swear words, you might want to do it now because do y'all want to know why?
Why?
Well, let me tell you why. Because it's Tuesday night, you finally understand what short selling is, and you're so desperate for company that you've started taking your snowmen into the house. This is quarantine! Hello, and welcome everybody once again to another episode of Quarantine, the game show that challenges its contestants to go the social distance. My name is Chris Iannucci. I'll be your host this evening, and we are so grateful to have you here on yet another wonderful Tuesday night. And we have a great show prepared for you. So great, and you're going to see why, because we have two fantastic teams from across the country who are here to compete for your amusement, and we're going to meet them in just a second. But before we do, I also have a shameless plug, because we are so thankful that we have been nominated for a Chicago Reader Award. We have been nominated for Chicago Reader's Best of 2020 for a digital sketch and improv, and I ain't too proud to beg. So wherever you're watching it from tonight, be it on our traditional Facebook live feed or on our brand new Twitch and YouTube live streams, make sure you check out our website or link out to our socials, and we'll explain that later on in the show, and follow some links and give us your votes. We really appreciate it. If you love us, we love the vote. If you hate the Chicago Reader and you want to stick it to them, screw up their competition and vote for us anyways. But that's enough of that, because we have two amazing teams who are here, and we are going to introduce them tonight. Joining us from Chicago, Illinois, we are thrilled to have playing tonight Silly Point. Silly Point, give the folks a big wave back home. Playing on Silly Point tonight, we have Rohan, we have Tushar, and we have Risham. And Silly Point, how are y'all doing this evening on this cold Chicago night?
We're excited.
Excited and
Pumped.
Excited, pumped, all the right words that we want to hear. And you're going to need to keep that energy up, because we're about to introduce your competitors this evening. Joining us all the way from the great state of Rhode Island, they are the venerable, the wonderful, the always hilarious Improv Jones. And we are so thrilled to have them as well. Improv Jones tonight comprised of Mr. Dave, Casey, and you may recognize his face. It's Tim Thibodeau. Give a big wave for the folks back home. Improv Jones, how are we doing this evening?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Thrilled to be here. It's nice to be venerable. That's better than being called old.
Yeah.
I got the vocabulary down before we started the show tonight. I want to make sure I said all the right things. So, but we are so thrilled to have all of you this evening, and we are also incredibly thrilled to have the man who works the gears behind the scenes. And we're going to bring him out for a quick introduction. It is my brother, our tech wizard, Mr. Al Iannucci. Al, how are you this evening?
Fantastic. How are you doing, bro?
I am doing great. I see you camped out outside of GameStop. How's the market been treating?
This is my bank now. I don't know if you knew that. I just switched over after what happened this week with the market manipulation and all that. I don't trust hedge funds. I don't trust banks. So now I just buy a pre-order on every game that's out with my paycheck, and I can go to a GameStop and get the money back whenever I want. It's like an ATM.
It's amazing how finance works. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do for the show. We're going to check back in with you later. But first, we got to explain how this whole thing works. So to those of you who have never seen the show before tonight, first of all, welcome and thank you very much. We know you're going to have a great time, but you may be saying to yourself, what do you do here on quarantine? Well, let me take a moment to explain it to you, because in front of me, I have a series of lovingly handcrafted, artistically designed trivia questions that I have set up for our contestants this evening, and I'm going to present them to them one at a time. Now, whichever team gets asked the question, they're going to have an opportunity to answer said question in a limited amount of time. If they get the question right, they get the points. If they get the question wrong, that means the opposing team has a chance to steal for half the amount of points. Now, we also have a few bonus games and a few surprises in store for our players tonight, and we're going to explain how those work as we get to them. But most importantly, we're going to need you, yes, you, sipping that rosé on the couch right now, to occasionally pick up that phone, look at that laptop, and type a few things into the comments when we ask you to, because you have the most important job of all. You get to help decide which one of these teams wins our game tonight. And be prepared for when I ask you something like I'm about to do right now, because it's our first audience prompt. And here's what we need from you. We need 2 suggestions from the audience this evening. We need a suggestion of a barnyard animal, an animal that you would find on a farm or a barnyard. And in addition to that, we also need something that you might see on a safari. So we're looking for barnyard and we're looking for safari.
Gabble, gabble, Chris, gabble, gabble. Did somebody ask for a barnyard animal? You'd find at a party?
I'm sorry, giblets? Giblets,
No.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not Giblets Montgomery. I'm not notorious international ladies man Giblets Montgomery. I'm just mild-mannered suburban dad Timothy Snood.
Okay, giblets. You're the only 6
Please,
foot tall
Timothy,
talking.
Timothy Snood.
Okay, yeah, the
Chris.
glass.
Chris, it's me. It's Giblets. It's Giblets Montgomery from the Thanksgiving show.
Yeah, Giblets Montgomery, the bird.
I'm not
who's-
Timothy Snood. That's a ridiculous name, Timothy.
Okay. Oh, okay, Giblets. We haven't seen you since you were on the lam after you got pardoned on Thanksgiving. What are you
Chris?
doing on the show tonight?
It's been a wild roller coaster of a time. I am on the lam once again. Are you familiar with GameStop?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it this week.
Did you know it's illegal to go into a mall and rob one at gunpoint?
I also knew that. Yes, I was familiar with that before this week.
So I
yes.
guess everybody but me knew.
Okay, Giblets, what are you doing here?
Chris, I needed a place to hide out. No one would find me. And I've seen your numbers lately. No one's going to find me.
Okay, well, that's harsh, but fine. We got to get the show going, though,
Just
Giblets.
please,
So if you
hide out, all right? Just let me hide out here.
Yeah, fine, lay
Here's
low.
where
Okay.
I really am. I can't say where, but I can tell you that I'm drinking this bold Labatt Blue, and I got this cheap Cialis.
Okay, you have
I'm
fun
in
with.
North Korea, Chris. I'm in the Republic of North Korea.
I didn't ask. Why are you giving this away? Nobody's asking you for this.
Tell
Okay.
me you haven't missed me, though.
All right, I have missed you, but Giblets, we got to get the show going. Okay, so
That's all right.
I need
I'll
to
pop
leave
in
it.
and
Okay,
out when I feel like it.
that's fine. Let's keep it to a minimum. All right, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Giblets Montgomery. Hopefully he stays quiet for the show. But you never know with him. But anyways, so thank you. Get those fingers going. Get that those suggestions, those prompts going for us, and we're gonna move on to our first category for the evening. Now, in the news this week, one of the big fashion trends that has picked up suddenly has been wearing 2 masks and not 1, because with all of the new COVID variants that are sweeping the globe at this point, even the CDC has come out and said it might start recommending people wearing 2 cloth masks to double the protection. The important thing is to remember that even wearing 2 masks won't work if you don't remember to pull it up over your nose when you wear it. hate when people do that. But in the meantime, we thought we would take a look at some other maybe people who work better in pairs in a category that we're calling dynamic duos. So this first trivia category, all questions, the answers will be pairs of people who are famous in history. Now, we flipped a coin before we got the show started tonight, and Improv Jones, you're going to be starting off this category. We are in round 1, where every question is worth 100 points. Stealing gets you 50. Y'all ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Your first question. First introduced to families across the country in July of 1969, these two basement apartment dwelling best buddies were originally voiced by Frank Oz and Jim Henson. Though the two felt friends made a decidedly odd couple, today it is impossible to imagine one without the other. Who is the duo?
Guessing everyone's gay bachelors, Bert and Early.
It's either them or Peter Scolari and Tom Hanks. So I'll go with Bert and Ernie.
1969, when they were made of felt.
Bert and Ernie is your final answer?
Bert and Ernie.
I love the bosom buddies reference, but yes, it is Bert and Ernie for 100 points. Improv Jones putting you on the board. All right, over to Silly Point. Your question, also for 100 points. This dream couple made their debut to the world on March 11th, 1961, and were considered America's sweethearts, wearing matching outfits and living in luxurious homes. That is until Valentine's Day 2004, when it was announced that the duo had split and would stay friends until rekindling their relationship on Valentine's Day 2011 to much fanfare. Who is the couple?
Guys, what were we doing in the 60s?
Early
I was not
60s.
born yet.
So this is pre-JFK for sure.
Yeah.
So let
Again, I will say this to both
Couple in a
teams.
romantic relationship.
To both teams, I will repeat any part of the question that you need repeated.
he said 1961. When was Sonny and Cher?
They
You
were
guys have anything opposed to Sonny and Cher?
I'm not opposed to that at
I'm
all.
not opposed to it. I don't have anything else.
I don't have the reference point for the years for Sonny and Cher. Let's do it.
All right, yeah, Sonny and Cher. Final answer.
Final answer, Sonny and Cher. Unfortunately, Sonny and Cher is not the correct answer, which means Improv Jones for 50 points. You think you might know who the couple I'm talking about is?
Do you know it?
I'm thinking it must be like some sort of like comics thing, because it was 1961 and then they broke up and they're matchy and then they're rekindled in 2004.
Can you repeat it quick again, Chris?
I'm sorry, say that again, Tim.
Repeat the question quick.
Sure thing. Dream couple debuted to the world on March 11th, 1961. They wore matching outfits. They lived in luxurious homes, and they were together until 2004, when it was announced that the two had split until they got back together on Valentine's Day 2011.
Barbie and Ken.
Sounds good.
I love
Nice.
it.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Final answer.
Barbie and Ken is correct for 50 points.
Well, I think
Great
that's
job.
all I actually have tonight. So
Question is, who got the Malibu dream house while they were separated?
Okay.
But anyways, moving, I'm sorry, this one stays with Improv Jones, your question for 100 points. Robert Leroy Parker met Harry Longabaugh in 1896 after a stint in jail. Impressed with each other's resumes as cattle rustlers and bank robbers, the two would join forces and form a gang known as the Wild Bunch and reach outlaw celebrity status across the North and Southwest using these pseudonyms.
Gilbert and Sullivan. But is that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Yeah, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, I'm thinking.
Sounds good
Yeah,
to me.
they were also known as Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
Robert Redford, exactly. And then with that upstart Catherine Ross, who just
Oh.
spoiled everything.
She's not venerable.
Ugh.
Definitely not venerable. Final answer?
Yeah.
Sound pretty confident about this one. It is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for 100 points. All right, back over to Silly Point. This is your question for 100 points. These two lifelong friends formed a theatrical partnership that penned 14 comic operas and would go on to influence musical theater with their use of rhyming slang. They inspired future works from artists such as Pink Floyd to Monty Python and The Simpsons. Who is the duo that I'm referring to?
Sharna and Del.
Local heroes.
Yeah.
Could you repeat the first part of the question?
Sure thing. These two lifelong friends formed a theatrical partnership and penned 14 comic operas that would go on to influence musical theater with their use of rhyming slang.
I kind of want to go with Sonny and Cher again.
We're gonna get it one time. One of them's gonna be Sonny and Cher.
Yeah, we can't miss on Sonny and Cher every single time, can we?
Right. I'm thinking like 14 comedic operas. Who would that be?
I'm trying to think of the Simpsons references because I know there's a lot of music in the Simpsons, but I can't think of a specific like.
You'll have a few more seconds, then I'm going to need an answer from you.
I feel like we should have Improv Jones on our team.
Yeah. I would love that.
You were close with The Simpsons.
Okay, I'll need a final answer from you. Final answer?
Ron, you're a Simpsons guy. You have
do
anything?
it. Sonny and Cher. Let's go.
All right, Sonny and Cher for final answer. Unfortunately, still not the right answer, which
Next
means
time.
we'll get them next time.
It's coming.
Which means Improv Jones. Do you know the duo that I'm referring to?
Take it away, Dave.
This would be Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah.
Oh.
This would absolutely be Gilbert and Sullivan for 50 points. Nicely done, Dave. I think you're a little clairvoyant there.
I'm
with
the model
joke
of
answer.
a modern major general.
Excellent. Can you do the whole thing for everybody at home?
That was all I know.
That's it. It's a tongue twister. All right. Well, last question of the category, and this one stays with Improv Jones. This one is for 100 points. These two icons of American cinema made their debut as a duo in the 1933 movie Flying Down to Rio, and they astounded audiences with their fancy footwork so much so that they would go on to pair off in 9 more films, the last of which was 1949's The Barkleys of Broadway, who is the famous duo.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm thinking it's Astaire and Rogers.
That's what I thought too.
Sounds good to me.
So
That or Sonny and Cher.
right.
And Tim agrees.
Tim is our resident dance scholar.
Yeah.
Right. Final answer is Astaire and Rogers.
I think so.
That is absolutely correct for 100 points, bringing your total up to 400 points, sweeping the category, Improv Jones. Nicely done. But don't worry, Silly Point. There is still plenty of room to catch up. We got plenty of game to go, so don't worry about that. But
I'm gonna worry a little bit.
before we get into some more trivia, well, here's an opportunity for each team to earn a little extra bonus scratch. Now, we talked about putting 2 people together and how excellent that can be. But what happens when you put 2 animals together? Well, you get what's called a chimera. So for those of you who aren't familiar with some famous historical chimeras, let's just say an eagle and a lion put together makes a griffin, or an iguana and a bat put together makes a Rudy Giuliani. Well, right now we're going to ask our contestants to make a chimera of their own using the suggestions that we asked of you, our audience. And what were those suggestions, Al?
So for the barn animal, the pick was the pig, and for the safari animal, we're going to go with the cheetah.
A pig and a cheetah. And you are going to mash up these 2 animals in a game that we are calling Better Than One. Here's how this game is going to work. Now, each of you has something that you can write on, or in this case, draw on, that you can then show to the camera. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Now, don't worry about being too artistic about these, because you're going to get a chance to show them off and explain what they are later. But we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and you're going to take your best opportunity to draw a combination of a pig cheetah. But here's the catch. That pig cheetah needs to be doing some sort of arbitrary household task that you think it would be really good at doing because it's half pig or half cheetah. So we'll put 60 seconds on the clock, do your best drawings, you show them off to the camera, give us a quick little description, and our audience is going to vote on which team did it better. Everybody ready? Okay, let's get the timer going, Al, and go.
All right.
And I imagine if you had a half a pig and a half a cheetah doing things around your house, that is going to be one big mess to clean up afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But also, don't be afraid to give it a fun name too. If you're making it a house pet. Al, you got a dog, Luna. Beautiful, beautiful dog. If you could mix Luna with an animal, what would you pick?
I would go anything that has a tail long enough to clean up after Luna. So let's say, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just if I could attach a dustpan to her ass, that would be the best combination, I think.
Yeah, Luna Lemur.
Yeah, there you go. 15 seconds, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Al. 15 seconds left, players. And you want to give us a countdown of 10, Al?
We got 6, 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's pens down. All right. Not a ton of time, but let's just see how y'all did. So let's start off with on Silly Point. Tushar, why don't you show the camera what you drew for us this evening?
Okay, you said a cheetah and a pig, which made me think of a Cheeto and a think of bacon. So it's a Cheeto in a blanket, and it is sitting on the toilet seat. A mundane house thing you would do.
Fantastic. All right, let's go over to Improv Jones. Tim, what'd you draw for us?
Oh man, it's a pig cheetah slipping on a banana peel from the trash.
And what about it being a pig or a cheetah makes the banana peel appealing?
Pigs are messy, and cheetah's got banana peel stripes. We all know this.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that's an explanation for sure. All right, Risham, what'd you draw for us tonight?
So here's my little cheetoink.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a half pig and half cheetah. It's taking out the trash while eating it because it's a cheetah. It can run fast, and it's a pig. It's gonna be eating some trash.
See, that's so versatile. Right. That's great. Risham, nicely done. All right, let's go over to Dave. Dave, what'd you draw for it?
Sure. I think Risham and I were on a similar kind of drew similar inspirations. This is a PETA, so-called because I want to protect it from harm. It is serving as a garbage disposal. It's good at that because pigs can eat a lot of garbage, and cheetahs have a very high metabolism, so it should be able to digest and process those scraps very effectively. So that's by PETA.
That's awesome. It's so funny because you say PETA and you think saving animals. I hear PETA and I think, man, that would make a really fun Euro. But differences of opinion. All right, let's go over to Rohan. What'd you draw for us tonight?
I drew a pig and a cheetah without the spots on it. So it's kind of cheating in a way of the spots are on the outside, just trying to get out. And so.
Nicely done. All right, awesome. All right, and finally, let's see Casey's. What'd you get for us?
I guess I went the other route. Like I'm kind of like with Risham and Dave, except instead of throwing away, I had it's doing the task of creating. This is a chog.
Ooh, all right.
And he's cooking, but he's cooking super fast. So there's the stove, and he's making something, and it's like lightning fast.
All right. Well, that just exploded onto the camera, by the way.
What?
I said that just exploded onto the camera, by the way, Kate.
What happens when you give 1 minute? It's like,
oh, we can't make it easy for you. All right. Well, anyways, great job, teams, and nicely done. Great work. But now the work rests on our audience because it is your chance to vote for which team you thought did the best job with their cheetah pig chimeras. And so we're doing a little something different tonight. Usually we just have you type in the name of the teams that you think won, but we have a fancy new voting system that Al cooked up for us. So here's how this works. If you want to vote for Improv Jones, type the number 1 into the chat bar and click send. If you want to see Silly Point get the points, type the number 2 into the chat and click send. So again, that's 1 for Improv Jones, 2 if you'd like to vote for Silly Point, and we're gonna have a fancy new robot count up all those votes, and we're gonna let you know who won. But before we do that, we're getting kind of close to Valentine's Day, and I've been looking for a little gift for a certain special someone, and so what I usually do is I like to shop at small independent stores. and that means I look for everything on the shopping channel. But I don't know if it's the pandemic or if it's this like political atmosphere that we're in right now, but I think that people are getting to be really pessimistic. I have a clip from something I saw the other day, if y'all want to take a look at this.
Did I miss something?
Are you rolling the clip?
Which clip do you want me to show?
QVC.
Oh.
Welcome. We are looking at the most festive and necessary Valentine's gifts of 2021. Not just because it's affordable, but they could be the difference between life and death when society inevitably collapses this year. I've had my eye on these little gems right here. These are chocolate strawberry iodine pills. It's a good gift for coworkers who want to zhuzh up their coffee, or if they haven't found clean water for days. Now, these aren't your grandma's mittens. Not only will they keep your beau's hands warm on a cold night, they provide essential hydration in below freezing temperatures. You just take the opening of the mitten like this, take the end of the tube like this, and you have an instant urine purifier. We do have one item that is useful in a myriad of ways. A big knife. Thanks so much for joining us on the Shopping Channel, where we say to you, be mine, because each other is all we have left. Happy Valentine's Day.
And we're back. Yeah, like I said, a little bit odd, but you know, I guess you can get something special for someone this Valentine's Day, no matter where you look. So we're back and looking at the scores. Al, did our robot work? Do we have a total for who did the best painting?
We do. Moobot actually came through this week as opposed to last week, and the winner was Improv Jones.
All right, Improv Jones, congratulations. You've won the extra drawing challenge, which means you're going to get an extra 200 points. Which, judging by my count right now, and Al back me up on this one, means that Improv Jones, you currently have a score of 600.
Correct.
And Silly Point, we got to get you on the board, but don't worry, there is still plenty of time to go. Again, we still have plenty of game, and we're about to enter round 2, so there's plenty of room to make up. Speaking of weird products, as that last little segment might have illustrated, it came out in the news last week that actually American Airlines, they are launching a new product line. It turns out that because people aren't flying on their airplanes as much, they happen to have a surplus of the wine that they would normally serve on board flights. So if you can't get enough of that delicious American Airlines wine that we've all come to know and love, you can actually have it delivered at home as a take-home service called Flagship Cellars. And I think the beauty of that is that if you drink too much of it, it's not considered blacking out, it's considered having a layover. Well, now, it's not the only time that a company has gone a little bit out of its depth when it tries to come up with a new product line. And we're going to quiz our contestants on some products that you may not think that certain companies actually came out with in a new game that we're calling Buy or Lie. And this game is a little different than our traditional trivia. I'm going to explain how this works. In front of me, I have a series of 12 different products that were put out by 12 different well-known brands. The only thing is, some of these are real products and some of these are fake. So I'm going to ask each of you individually whether or not the product that I'm telling you did in fact exist at one point, or if it's something that I invented. Now, if you can answer correctly, it means that you get your team 100 points. Answering incorrectly means no points, no chance to steal. There's 12 of them. You're each going to get 2. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. So we're going to start off with Rohan. Why don't you start this one off for us? I'm going to give you a product. You're going to tell me if this is a real product or if it's something that I made up. We all know Evian Water, the fancy water company. But at one point, Evian released a water bra. The Evian water bra. Real or fake?
I want to go with fake on that one.
Rohan, unfortunately, this one was real. If you take a look at Al's screen, he's going to put up the actual the actual ad for that. So no, a real product, so no points awarded. Let's go over to Dave. Dave, this one is going to be for you. Tell me if this is a real or a fake product. We all know Lululemon, the fancy activewear company, and they make all kinds of products, but did they make a Lululemon designer diaper for the busy mom on the go?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say, because I don't like the confluence of the word lemon and diaper, I'm gonna go fake.
It is fake, Dave. So way to guess that one. That is 100 points for Improv Jones. Nicely done. All right, we're going to go back over to Silly Point. Tushar, this one is for you. Tell me if this is real or fake. Dr. Pepper designed a body wash shampoo combo. So the Dr. Pepper body wash and shampoo, real or fake?
It fits the target demographic. I'm going to go with that's real.
Unfortunately, it does, but I made it up, which means no points awarded to Silly Point.
It's a great business idea. They should do it.
I'm telling you, some of these things, you're going to want them even though they're not real. So keep your head in the game on that one. All right, let's go over to Casey. Casey, this one is for you. Tell me if this is real or fake. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. KFC designed a line of nail polish. KFC nail polish, real or fake?
It's so arbitrary. So I'll say yeah, just cuz.
It is real, and it's not arbitrary because it was edible nail polish, and you could literally be finger licking good. So that is 100 points for Improv Jones. All right.
Rachel, come on, let's go. Come on, we need
to tell me.
No pressure, Rachel. You're all getting 2. Don't worry. All right, Rachel.
I'm just gonna say Tawny and Cher.
There you go.
This one is for you. We all know Calvin Klein, the clothing designer, but did Calvin Klein ever design a line of bubble gum? Calvin Klein chewing gum, real or fake?
I think it's real.
Rasham, I'm so sorry. It is not real. I made that one up, which means no points are awarded.
I can totally see Justin Bieber wearing that underwear and chewing gum at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. But hey, everybody gets 2, so you got another shot coming up just down the pike. All right, this last one, we're going to go over to Tim. Tim, this is yours. Tell me if this is real or fake for the first half of this category. Lamborghini made some vodka. Lamborghini vodka, real or fake?
Nothing like swigging some Lamborghini vodka before getting in your Lamborghini. I'm going to say that's real.
Tim, that's real for 100 points. Lamborghini vodka for when you want to live in the fast lane and then crash in the fast lane.
And go right into the meridian.
It is fantastic.
That's that Tim Thibodeau lifestyle right there.
Goes down smooth. All right, we're going to start back over at the top. Let's start with Tushar. This one is going to be for you for 100 points. Tell me if this is real or fake. We all know Spam, the world famous meat in a can, but did Spam ever make a spam scented candle, also called a spamdle?
Oh, spam scented candle. There's a target demographic. There's a market for everything. I'm going to say they thought about it. It's real.
Tushar, they thought about it, but then they decided not to make it. That is not a real product. So no points awarded to Tushar. I'm so sorry. All right. We're going over to Casey. Casey, tell me if this one is real or fake. We all know Levi's, the world famous jeans company, denim jeans company, but did they ever partner with the Ford Motor Company to design a car?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Indeed, that's exactly what the makers of the Gremlin said. This is the Levi's denim-lined Gremlin lined with the seat of the pants.
Yep.
Ow.
That is.
Wow.
Why not?
Detroit roots coming out. Like, sure, Ford would have done anything at one point.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's a pain in the ass to get stains out of, but other than that, it looks pretty great. So, all right, that is 100 points for Improv Jones. Let's go over to Rohan. This one is for you for 100. Tell me if this is real or fake. We all know the famous Frito-Lay brand Cheetos.
Familiar.
But did Cheetos interior house paint, real or fake?
My gut is telling me that it did, so I'm going to say no. They did not make this product.
Rohan, that is completely correct for 100 points. But Silly Point on the board.
Oh,
nicely done.
The
If anybody
floor
really
has
wants,
risen.
I really want it to be real, so that's why it's not real.
Yeah, I see you're starting to figure out the logic of these. Okay, great. So we're going to go back over to, I'm sorry, this one goes to Dave. Dave, this one is for you. Tell me if this is real or fake. We all know Marlboro cigarettes, love them or hate them. Did they ever make a brand of running shoes? Marlboro running shoes.
What a great idea! We had an Improv Jones member one time who ran a charity a marathon while smoking. So this is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to say that happened because I want it to have happened.
As hilarious as it would have been, Dave, unfortunately, Marlboro made a lot of swag, but they never made running shoes. So there are no points awarded over on that one. Let's see. Risham, this one is going to be for you. Risham, tell me if this is real or if this is fake. Smith & Wesson, famous firearms manufacturer, but did they ever make a bicycle? A Smith & Wesson bicycle?
You need to get somewhere to shoot somebody. So I'm going to say yes.
Sean, that is completely 100% correct for 100 points.
Yes.
We'll buy anything as a team. I feel like you bring a product to Silly Point, we'll just buy it.
Yeah, we will buy anything.
You were like the opposite of Shark Tank right now. You were.
Yeah. We've been into every demographic.
Seriously. All right. And finally, the last one for the category. This one's going to Tim. Tim, tell me if this is a real or a fake product. We all know Virgin brand, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Airlines, Virgin Records. But did Virgin ever come out with a line of wedding dresses? The Virgin wedding dress, real or fake product?
Jeez. It would have to be in black, though, right? No.
Why?
I don't know either.
That's not how that works.
All right, Tim, real or fake? What do we think?
I'm going to say fake.
Tim, I wish it was fake, but unfortunately it's real. And here's CEO Richard Branson modeling it off himself and haunting everyone's nightmares in the process. So no points awarded for that one. So that's the end of the category. But that leaves us with the point totals here. Looking at Silly Point, you're on the board with 200 points. And still in the lead with, and Al, back me up on this one, 1,000 points.
Yes, sir.
We have Improv Jones. I know it sounds like there's a gap, but we're about to get into our next trivia category where the questions are worth 200 points and stealing gets you 100. It's really anybody's game at this point. So for our next category, and I hate to be...
Chris.
Yeah.
I know you were talking about spending a Valentine's Day with that special someone. You don't have to be coy. I'm right over here. I just wanted to let you know any of those fine products you mentioned would be great, but if you're getting me a denim car, know that those jeans will be stuffed. Turkey pop.
Always a pleasure having you on the show, Giblets. All right. Well, anyways, moving into our next category here, we have some bad news for all of you Toys R Us kids out there who never wanted to grow up. Well, it was announced this week that Toys R Us is closing the last 2 locations, brick and mortar locations that it has here in the United States, one in Texas and one in New Jersey, specifically citing the pandemic for its reasoning why. And while that's obviously a shot in the gut to any of us who grew up wanting to be a Toys R Us kid, I thought we wouldn't dwell on the past in a sad way. I'd rather dwell on the past in a more fun, nostalgic way. And I thought I would ask our contestants some questions about some well-known toys from the past and how they got their starts in a category that I'm calling Toy Stories. So these are all questions that have to do with the how toys got their start. This first one goes over to Silly Point. This is yours for 200 points now. Your question. This toy was originally designed by a Cincinnati-based soap manufacturer as a wallpaper cleaner in the 1930s before being repurposed as an educational toy in Ohio in the mid-50s. And in 2018, its current manufacturer Hasbro announced that it has officially trademarked the product's nostalgia-inducing scent. What is the toy that I'm referring to?
Is it Play-Doh?
Play-Doh.
It does have that distinct smell.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it does. It does.
Play-Doh can,
Oh,
yeah.
it does. Okay, and
Yeah.
it seems like silly putty that you put
Yeah,
on
you
windows.
could use it to like it would stick, like stuff would stick to it
Play-Doh.
as you're rubbing it on a wallpaper. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I like Play-Doh. Yeah.
Are there other things that we can think about, like sanding something? I don't know. For
Our gut
walls?
has not been with us right now, so like I think.
Okay, you know what? What's the opposite of Play-Doh? Because it's probably the opposite of Play-Doh.
A rock.
Yeah.
It's a rock.
Well, pet
Death
rock.
rock or Play-Doh?
Yeah.
Death rock Play-Doh.
Let's go with Play-Doh. Let's
Play-Doh.
trust. Yeah.
Final
Okay,
answer?
Play-Doh. Mhm.
Better be right.
You are absolutely correct. It's Play-Doh for 200 points. It was originally designed to wipe on wallpaper so you could get coal soot off of it. But then once they stopped using coal fireplaces, they just needed something else to do with it. So they threw it at the kids. All right, nicely done. Silly point. That's 200 points on the board for you. Moving over to Improv Jones. Your question. These pets were invented in 1957 by Harold von Brandt, the same person behind X-ray specs and the invisible goldfish. Thanks to intense marketing in comic books and some heavily embellished packaging, millions of children were mailed these critters en masse throughout the 60s and 70s and right up until today. What is the toy?
Sea monkeys?
Gotta be it's sea monkeys.
Well, or you know, brine shrimp or whatever. Yeah, sea monkeys.
Yeah, they're great on a salad as well.
They're all comic books too, right?
You just have to pick the little crowns out of your teeth. Yeah. With the trident. That's what's nice, is that it comes with the trident.
So, final answer?
Sea monkeys?
Sea monkeys, final answer. Sea monkeys is 100% correct for 200 points. Well done, Improv Jones. All right, moving back over to Silly Point, your question. Danish master carpenter Ulkirk Christensen designed this toy set in 1949, which quickly became synonymous with his company's name, which comes from the Danish words for play well. Coincidentally, the name also translates to I put together in Latin. What is the name of the toy brand?
Lego.
Yeah, Lego.
Seems very likely to me. That was what's coming to mind.
Yeah, and I don't think they would go with Connects for this one. But,
It's also like I think Lego started off with being like wooden blocks.
Yeah. Lego sounds the.
A lot of things make sense. Like in Latin, it might mean that, with the I and the O ending of Lego. It sounds entirely probable.
Probably, yeah. It's probably short for leguminous omnivorous or something.
Leguminous omnivorous.
It's that or Death Rock. What do we want?
Yeah. Let's go with Lego. I'll go Lego.
Lego.
Going with
okay,
Lego. Smart choice. Lego does mean I put together in Latin. Connects means stabbed foot. So it is Lego for 200 points. Nicely done. All right, we're going back over to Improv Jones. This is your question for 200. John Lloyd Wright, son of famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright, designed this toy playset in 1916, modeled after his father's design for the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo. The final name for the toy would be given a decidedly American theme. What is the toy?
Lincoln Logs?
Is it Lincoln Logs?
Leguminous omnivorous. Is all I
Yeah,
have.
I love that. Yeah.
I'm hearing leguminous omnivorous. Final answer?
Yeah, it's gonna be Lincoln Logs, right?
I got nothing.
Building, that's an American name. It's got to be Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Lincoln Logs is correct for 200 points. Way to go, Improv Jones. All right, last question of the category, back over to Silly Point. This one is yours. The Whammo Corporation released this plastic take on a traditional Native American dance prop in 1958 and quickly realized they had a new hip fad on their hands, selling 25 million of them in just 4 months. What is the toy?
But that's more Hawaiian than Native.
Well, what did you say, Rich?
Hula hoop?
Hula hoop.
I don't.
Repeat the question just so I can.
Sure thing.
Just
The
some of the
Whammo
facts
Corp.
again.
Yep, the Whammo Corporation released this plastic take on a traditional Native American dance prop in 1958 and quickly realized they had a new hip fad on their hands, selling 25 million of them in just 4 months.
Hula hoop actually does sound
Pom
pretty
poms? Hula hoop or pom poms? Could that be something?
I think there's something in the word hip.
Yeah, hip, and then and it's also like a plastic item.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
do use a lot of rings. in their dances.
Yeah.
Okay. Hula hoop.
Yeah, hula hoop.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It is the hula hoop for 200
Oh
points.
yeah, I know.
It is also modeled after traditional hoop dances performed by native tribes in the Pacific Northwest and in the Southwest. So yes, also a dance prop from those cultures, or at least a weird plastic take on it. But regardless, you got the question right. That's 200 points. And that's the end of the category, but we still have one more bonus game up our sleeves. And now we were combing through the quarantine archives trying to look for some fun old toys to put into that category. And we found a couple of really fun commercials from a bygone era that, well, frankly, we wanted to share with everybody here watching the show tonight. The thing is, I tried doing the editing myself, and I'm no Al, and I completely screwed up and lost all of the audio.
Oh.
So we're gonna, I know, next time I'm gonna get Al on board. But right now we're gonna need help from our contestants and have them do some audio dubbing over some old commercials in a game that we're calling As Seen on TV. And here's how this works. Well, you can clearly see on your screens, contestants, there is the quarantine logo on Al's monitor. Now, I'm going to give each of you a different commercial. Each team will get one commercial. They're both 60 seconds long. There is no audio. I'll tell you what the toy is, and I'll give you a really quick, brief description of it. When the commercial plays, you're going to have to do the audio dubbing for the sound that isn't there. So feel free to narrate, feel free to do dialogue, feel free to just describe whatever it is that you're seeing. Do what you want to do, but the point is when both teams are done, the audience is going to vote on which team did it better. Makes sense to everybody. Okay, great. So this is based on the coin flip. Right now, up first, we have Silly Point. You're going to be getting the first commercial of the evening. Your commercial is for a product called the Secret Sam Spy Kit. Secret Sam Spy Kit. And Al, let's roll that commercial.
Da 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 da. Dun, 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 dun.
Ever wondered if you were to just go away into the night, who would even know? Who would even know who's watching you?
Dun, dun, dun,
But
dun.
you do know because your child will tell you that it is him. He's always watching.
Da, da, da.
Just like that.
Da, da, da.
He runs down.
Dun, 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 dun.
Babies like to play with firearms.
Never too old to play with guns.
Dun, dun, dun. And
Hey,
every-
okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Comes with accessories.
Dun, 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 dun,
Complete the set now.
And we'll bring you a free plastic bag that does not get wet in the rain.
Take a
If
picture.
you feel like being a pervert while playing, go right ahead.
Secret Sam.
All right, and that is the Secret Sam Spy Kit. Thank you so much for doing that for us, Silly Point. All right, well, that was commercial one, but we got to bring you commercial two. Improv Jones, this one is for you. It is a ad for a product from a bygone era called the Swing Wing. It is a piece of novelty headgear called the Swing Wing. Al, let's roll that commercial.
Oh, boy. Ever have a neck problem? Not anymore. Not with the pendant swing wing, which will loosen your vertebrae and free your hips.
I'm usually in control of my skull, but this gives me a sense of liberty and freedom.
Oh, I think it's great.
Shake out all those demon thoughts in your head.
The swing wing, powered by AC and DC.
Do it on a bridge. On train tracks. Do it anywhere.
Upside down, right side up.
In a boat with your sister, who's not your sister because your parents remarried.
The swing wing. Do it till your brain destroys itself.
The swing wing, not responsible for any vertebral damage. Swing wing.
Join us.
That just kept going, didn't it?
It sure did.
It sure did. All right. Well, thank you very much, Improv Jones, for your color commentary on that one as well. All right. But now that's the end of our commercials, which means it's up to you, our audience, to decide which team did it better. We're going to do the same way we did it the last time. If you think Improv Jones did the best improving on that commercial, give us a 1. And if you think that Silly Point had the best job done for their Super Spy Kit, then press number 2 into the chat, and we're going to have our chat bot count up all of those votes. We're going to give the team that wins an extra 200 points. So get those fingers moving, and we'll get back to those results in just a minute. But first, we're going to take a quick break from one of our wonderful ad sponsors. Please enjoy.
Is your business suffering from whiny customers? Tired of providing expensive customer support? Here at TransferCo, we transfer the burden of your customer support onto us.
Stop transferring me.
Let me see if someone from Home and Garden can help.
Home and
Please
Garden?
hold. With our patented rigmarole system, we provide your customers a convenient service line. And once they call in, the support never ends. Okay, sir, calm down. I'll transfer you to our head manager.
Oh my god, finally.
Hello, it's the head manager speaking. Because your real problem isn't that customers are upset, it's that they keep complaining. And what better way to deal with your problems than to pass them off onto someone else? Thanks for waiting. I'm going to transfer you to somebody who understands exactly what you're going through. So stop wasting resources on customer support and let us provide them with the service they're worth. TransferCo, turning customer feedback into a customer feedback loop.
All right, and we're back, and thank you so much to our wonderful sponsor for helping support the show. Well, now we're about to get into the tail end of our show tonight, moving on to round 3. And you know what? It's today is Groundhog Day, and as it was reported, punks
start on this Groundhog Day nonsense.
Giblets, I'm sorry, I have a category I was about to do.
I'm sorry, you go right ahead, Chris. I'm just going to stand and I'll just make some comments.
Giblets, I can't do the show if you're going to keep interrupting me like this. Okay. No, I mean, you're supposed to be laying low. You're doing the opposite of laying low right now.
That punk groundhog has been riding this high off this Bill Murray movie for decades now. I'm tired of it. All right? I'm the talking holiday mascot, bar none. Name a second one. Easter Bunny? No, too Catholic. That's right. It's Giblets, baby. As long as we're in the States, it's Giblets. Why don't you sit down, Chris? Why don't you let me take over for this one?
Giblets, if I give you a few minutes to just to speak your piece, can I have my show back?
Maybe.
It's worth a shot. All right, Giblets, take it away.
Thank you very much, Chris. As you know, I'm on the run once again, pretending to be someone else. I'm pretending that I'm not a turkey at all, but in fact, a peacock. It's easy to blend in Canada that way. I don't know why. In any case, I'd like to do a category about people on the run, pretending to be other people. A little category I call On the Wing. And I believe we have a graphic. Did we get it? Perfect, Al. Thank you. Give it up for Al Ianucci, everybody. I can't hear you clapping, but it doesn't matter. My first question is going to go over to Improv Jones. Improv Jones, are you ready for a question?
Oh, yeah.
Sure thing.
This is a question about someone who is pretending to be someone else or is on the run. A 22-year-old Florida man was released from prison in 2019 after serving 20 months for impersonating a doctor while he was still a teenager. Despite sharing his name with a Kiss song, the only makeup he used was his made-up credentials. Who am I talking about, Improv Jones?
Clearly it's somebody named Beth.
The classic Kiss song, Beth.
That's legit the only Kiss song I know that has a name in it. And
Yeah.
Is it I Wanna Rock and Roll?
I am looking for a name.
Yeah, that's his name.
Oh, his name is Are we going with that? I Want to Rock and Roll?
It's
Paul Stanley.
Ace Frehley. Gene Simmons. We're just gonna
guy.
How about?
All right, you're gonna need an answer in a couple seconds, though, Improv
You do
Jones.
a 5 count. You ready? 5.
Paul Stanley?
I'm sorry, Paul Stanley is not correct. This question is going to go right over to Silly Point. Silly Point, you need me to repeat.
Yes, can you repeat it for us?
Could you repeat it?
Absolutely. A 22-year-old Florida man was released from prison in 2019. He had served 20 months for impersonating a doctor while he was still a teenager. Despite sharing his name with a Kiss song, the only makeup he used was his made-up credentials. Who am I talking about?
I think I don't think we've ever mentioned the band Kiss. I think we probably talk about J. Cole more than Kiss. So, and I don't know the J. Cole
Hey,
song.
it's a Florida guy. Think of a very common American name. I want to
Doogie
say
Howser in Florida.
Stan, Kyle.
Silly Point, I'm going to need an answer in
Tim.
5.
Let's go with Gene Simmons' song Gene Simmons.
Of course, Gene Simmons' hit song, Gene Simmons. Unfortunately, that's not correct. It is a great song, I assume. His name was Dr. Love.
Call him Dr. Love.
Of course, his real name was Malachi Love Robinson, and he had opened a fake medical practice before he was 18 and even treated undercover officers. So no points on that one. We're going to stay over here with Silly Point. Silly Point, this mobster went into witness protection in 1980 after his testimony helped convict 50 mafia members. He was there until the U.S. Marshals found out he was trafficking cocaine while in witness protection 7 years later. Today we know his name because his story went on to be the basis of Martin Scorsese's hit film, Goodfellas. Who am I talking about?
Think Italian.
Definitely think Italian, yes.
Italian American.
It's not Gotti, right?
No, it's not. No. It's not Donnie. It's not Donnie Brasco, is it?
It's not Iannucci, is it?
Yeah.
The answer could be right here.
Ooh. We're supposed to keep that quiet.
Okay.
That's right. We're not supposed to out the Iannucci crime family here on Quarantine. Damn it, there I go again.
Damn it, giblets. We are going to need an answer from you in a second, though, Silly Point.
We had a deal, giblets.
Yeah, Donnie Brasco.
Fortunately, Donnie Brasco is not correct. That question is going to go right back over to Improv Jones. Improv Jones?
What was his name? Henry Hill? I thought
Yes,
this is like...
that's it. That is definitely it.
Yeah, that was.
Henry Hill is correct. Improv Jones, you get the point.
Decidedly not Italian.
No, he's half Irish, if you'll recall the film.
That's right.
I guess no one does. He went on to publish 3 books, including a cookbook that I assume included his great prison sauce recipe, and he died in 2012.
I know that scene. Talk about garlic sauce. I would have answered that.
Oh, we should talk about garlic sauce all day. Chris, how much time did you say I have? 45 minutes?
Not nearly enough.
Improv Jones. New Jersey State Senator David Friedland was in hot water in 1985. He was arrested for attempting to defraud the Teamsters Union. He agreed to rat on his co-conspirators, and then while he was in witness protection, he worked on a different scheme to defraud the Teamsters Union. So he thought deeply on the subject and decided to fake his own death. Before he resurfaced in the Maldives, what kind of accident did he make his death look like?
I think we should go the Sonny and Cher theme.
Yeah, I think Cher sounds good.
Yeah.
Accident.
Skiing accident,
He was in
exactly.
a skiing accident. Yeah.
Unfortunately, skiing accident is not correct. Rest in peace, Sonny Bono. Let's go over to Silly Point. Silly Point, same question.
Repeat the question, please.
Of course I can. New Jersey State Senator David Friedland was in hot water in 1985. He was arrested for attempting to defraud the Teamsters Union Retirement Fund. Now, he agreed to rat on his co-conspirators and then spent witness protection working on a second scheme to defraud the Teamsters Union Retirement Fund. So he thought deeply, decided to fake his own death, and before he resurfaced in the Maldives, he made his death look like what kind of accident?
I want to say like poisoning or stabbing. Like he stabbed himself by mistake.
I want to say like car accident because I think you could like lose a car easier, like and like in the ocean, like a car accident, like a car going over a cliff.
Yeah. Drive off a cliff or just
That's
like.
how I would personally fake my own death. Personally.
Yeah.
Final answer going to be car?
Yeah.
Let's do car.
Unfortunately, car is also not correct. You were getting close with the ocean. It was a scuba accident. He had some friends say that he had taken sleeping pills before going on a scuba dive.
I see what you did there, Jim, with the Maldives and the hot
and
water.
also and the hot water. Got it. Yeah.
I love puns, Chris.
Paging Dr. Love.
Paging Dr. Love indeed. Silly Port, I am going to stay with you. Maybe this was a little more pop culture-y. Alec Baldwin was in the news not too long ago after it came to light his wife had really grown up in Massachusetts and not, as she claimed for over a decade, in this country.
Well, Spain, right?
Spain.
Yeah.
Spain is correct.
Barcelona.
It is indeed Spain. American-born Hillary Haywood Thomas referred to herself as Hilaria, gave the children Spanish names, and even referred to them as the Baldwinitos. Not sure where her accent comes from.
It's outside of Quincy, I think.
Yeah, it's Westport or someplace.
Yeah.
Right, Spain.
Westport on the Cape, yeah.
You cross the border in Quincy, you're right in Spain. That'd be lovely. Improv Jones, I've got a last question for you. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah. Indeed.
This 19th century Tennessee congressman turned folk hero was, in part, running away from his debts when he famously rode west in 1836.
Wait, say that one more time?
This 19th century Tennessee congressman turned folk hero was, in part, running away from his debts when he famously rode west in 1836.
Davy Crockett?
I was going to say Horace Greeley, but I don't know why I would say that.
Was it
It's an awesome name.
But I think it's Davy Crockett because he was.
I like that.
Do we have consensus?
It could be totally full of crap, but let's try it.
I trust you implicitly.
No, don't.
Davy Crockett is correct.
Oh, yes, you.
He had lost his race for the House of Representatives the prior year, so he was eligible for prosecution for his debts. Lucky for him, Texas was not a state. Less lucky, he died there.
The Alamo.
Yeah, pretty bad run of luck at the end there. But
I gotta say, Chris, the worst thing that can happen when you're on the run from your creditors or anyone is to die.
I think that's probably the worst thing that can happen to anybody in any scenario.
Chris,
Giblets,
please hide me, Chris. I'm so afraid.
Okay, Giblets, just hang tight. We're almost done with the show. Okay, we'll figure out something afterwards. You're not coming to my house. I can't be a co-conspirator of this. Okay, I've been an accessory once before. I won't do it again. All right, Giblets, thank you so much for that additional wisdom that you've just imparted onto our contestants.
I love you, Chris. Fly to your house. I'll see you soon.
Bye, Giblets.
Please don't. Gobble, gobble, Giblets. All right, contestants, we have one more category to go. But looking at the scores right now, I have Silly Point with 1,000 points.
Correct.
And in front of them, I have Improv Jones with 1,700 points.
Yes, sir.
Which, again, there's still room to catch up in this game. But, Al, did we get a consensus on who won our audience vote?
We did. Improv
Best
Jones.
commercial.
Improv Jones took the vote on that one.
All right, Improv Jones, congratulations. That's going to net you an extra 200 points, which brings your total up to 1,900. We got one more category to go. We're going to crack on this one. And getting into this last category for the evening, there are some engineers over at the University of California at San Diego who are actually on their way to developing a wearable COVID test. It's something that fits inside of your face mask, and it registers the condensation on your breath as you breathe onto it, and then you apply a solution, and it changes color based on whether or not you're positive or negative for the test. It's kind of like a litmus paper or a mood ring, except the mood ring only has two moods, fine and terrified. Well, it's something that may not take off as a fashion statement, depending on how comfortable people are with the technology, but there are a few things in history that have taken off as definite fashion statements, and things, whether you love them or hate them, have become a part of our popular culture. So I'm going to quiz our contestants about some of those particular items in a category that I'm calling, it's called fashion. These are all questions that have to do with, it's called fashion, Tim.
Super defensive there, Chris.
Pop culture around fashion. All right, we're starting off with Silly Point on this one. These are, this is round 3, trivia questions over 300. Stealing gets you 150. All right, here we go. First question for Silly Point. This now popular clothing pattern got its big break in 1965 when Don Price, an executive for Hellmann's Mayonnaise, attempted to save a floundering food dye company by marketing its colors to young and hip artists in New York's Greenwich Village. What developed was a fashion statement synonymous with counterculture. What is the clothing pattern that I'm referring to?
Tie-dye, right? Tie-dye.
Tie-and-dye.
Tie-and-dye. Final answer?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Hellmann's Mayonnaise, it is tie-dye for 300 points. Nicely done. Silly Point. All right, going over to Improv Jones. This is your question. Science and fashion made sweet, sweet chemistry together in the 1930s when researchers from the DuPont Chemical Corporation first synthesized this wonder fabric, whose selling points included being able to be worn for 68 days straight without ironing or care and still looking fresh.
Polyester.
Polyester.
Yeah, polyester.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Final answer?
Polyester.
You can wear it for 68 days straight without washing it, but I highly would not recommend that. It is polyester for 300 points. All right. Silly point. By the way, Tim, I just noticed your background right now, and kudos. It is always nice. What do they say? Imitation's the serious form of flattery. All right, going over to Silly Point. This is yours for 300. Originally designed by a company called Foam Creations, this fashion statement was released upon the public at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show in 2001 as a futuristic boating shoe, and in the time since has gone on to be named one of the world's 50 worst inventions by Time Magazine in 2010. What is the thing that I'm talking about?
I don't get the hate for these things. I think they look pretty comfortable, but like Crocs, I know it's
Crocs.
It's Crocs, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a
Probably.
French company is pretty close to doing something crocky.
Right, but
Yeah.
Right, and I
Wasn't-
don't get the hate on them. I mean, they look
Nice in
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
they're like in certain colors. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Yeah, final answer, Crocs.
Final answer is Crocs. Clearly, we have a fan here amongst our contestants tonight. And yes, the answer for 300 points is Crocs. Excellently done. I can't see your feet right now, but I imagine that you're wearing some, Rohan. Yes. Maybe we can get a sponsorship from Crocs for our next show. All right, back over to Improv Jones. This is your question for 300 points. 5,000-year-old Otzi the Ice Mummy was found to be wearing a version of this accessory, which found vogue in the 90s among tourists, ravers, and soccer moms alike. Despite waning in popularity for a while, there's been a modern resurgence in recent years, with brands like Gucci and Prada designing some that cost at retail $1,500. What is the accessory?
Fanny pack.
Fanny pack, yeah.
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 Final answer?
That's Otzi's deal, yeah.
Yeah, that was Otzi, yeah.
He needed someplace to keep his keys. Yes, it's a fanny pack for 300 points. Great job. All right, last question of the category. We're going back over to Silly Point. This is your question for 300. When you put it on, something happens to you. At least that's what the ads for this iconic 80s outerwear claimed, featuring over 40 different radical colors and a name inspired by its designer's Long Island Country Club. What is the name of the coat that I'm referring to?
You said coat?
Coat.
Oh, outerwear.
Trench coat, but a peacoat. Trench coat, peacoat.
Again, I can
Is it
repeat that
Long
question
Island
for you if you'd
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Can
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
could
great.
you? There's a lot
Sure thing.
there.
When you put it on, something happens to you. At least that's what the ads for this iconic 80s outerwear claimed, featuring over 40 different radical colors and a name inspired by its designer's Long Island Country Club.
I think it's one of those like wind cheater things that come in like a lot of bright colors. I just don't know the real name for them.
Where were ponchos made?
Ooh, could be ponchos. Yeah, because like it's near the sea, could be mist. The
But
fancy
does it
poncho.
sound like a Long Island Country Club? The poncho on the park or poncho on the lake?
Sure, you're saying you won't go to a country club called Ponchos?
Think about it.
I
But
think I've
would
gotten
go.
drunk. I think I've gotten drunk at a
Is
bar
it a-
called Ponchos once.
Could it be like
Duster?
it's a country club? Can it be members only? Like the coats with members on top?
Twill jacket, twill.
You do have a
colorful?
you do have a few more seconds, and then I need an answer from you.
Letterman jacket.
Yeah, there's not a Letterman Island though. I don't think I.
Letterman Country Club. That could be.
Okay, I need your final answer.
Let's let Tashar feel welcome. We're gonna go with Letterman jacket.
Letterman's jacket. Final answer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Letterman's is not the correct
Shouldn't have let
answer.
me feel welcome.
Which means, Improv Jones, you can get 150 points if you know the jacket that I'm talking about.
That's the members only, yeah.
Members only, yeah.
That is completely correct. Rasham, I'm sorry, you had it on the tip of your
Oh,
tongue.
cool.
The brand name is called Members Only, and that's going to get 150 points for Improv Jones. And that is also going to be the end of our regular play. And that's the end of round 3, but it doesn't mean that it has to be the end of the game, because we're going to walk into what we like to call here on Quarantine, the final round. Here's
we were done.
Sorry, Casey, you're almost out of the woods here, but there's one last.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, this is why we give you time before the show, Casey. All right. Okay, so here's how this works. Silly Point, right now your score is 1,600 points, and Improv Jones, I have you in the lead with 2,650 points. Now you are down, but you are not out. We're going to give you one last chance to try and take back some of this lead. In front of me, I have 3 questions, an easy question, a medium, and a hard question. Each one of them is worth 750, 1,000, and 1,250 points, respectively. Okay, now it is up to, at this point, you have to answer the hardest question in the game to get those 1,250 points and take back the lead. If you do so, that means that Improv Jones is going to have to choose from one of the 2 remaining questions to try to win back the lead and take the game. Does this make sense?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to give you your question. I'll give you a little time to deliberate on it. And then if you get it right, Improv Jones, you're up to bat. Otherwise, this is game. So no pressure, but this is the hardest question in the entire game. So you ready for your question?
Yeah.
Silly Point for 1,250 points, possibly the lead, possibly the win. Gilbert and Sullivan had a theater in London built specifically to house their shows. Built by Richard D'Oli Cart in 1881, it was the first building to be lit entirely by electricity, and it still stands in London to this day, having since become a famous stage for operas, musicals, and the works of Shakespeare. What is the name of the famous theater in London that was originally built for Gilbert and Sullivan?
London
Globe?
Opera House? Globe?
Isn't the Globe where the Shakespeare?
Yeah.
I know I think that's where the Shakespeare gift shop is, at least. Whenever
There's also a Shakespeare Garden. No, that's in Chicago.
I would. I'm inclined to say the Globe.
It's possible.
I mean,
That's
that's
building.
the most popular name that I can think of.
And as far as I
Here's
can
some-
remember, they do have electricity still, as
They
far
do.
as 2015 goes.
And its location would make sense. I think it's like in the oldest part of London. It's by London Eye near Buckingham. Not Buckingham, like the Big Ben area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense. All right.
Well, what are other names that we can think of? Is there something like a Metropolitan Opera there, or a?
You know what? We're gonna go with
I
Globe.
think Chicago's are like.
Going with Globe Theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakespeare's
Okay.
her thing. Yeah, Globe Theater.
Globe Theater, final answer, potentially for the win? Unfortunately, the Globe Theater is a very old theater, but even that was built way before there was electricity. The name of the theater is called the Savoy Theater, still popular in London to this day. Don't necessarily expect anybody to know that, but that's why it's the hardest question in the game. So unfortunately, Silly Point, you didn't get the question right, which means you didn't get the points, which means you didn't get the win, which means tonight's big winner, Improv Jones. Congratulations. And we are going to get to Improv Jones in just one quick second and tell them what they've won. But first, Silly Point, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. We really do hope you had a good time. You actually had a nice little comeback there at the end. But unfortunately, you couldn't make it all the way. But thank you so much for being here tonight. We really did love having you. And before we say goodnight to you, where are some places that our contestants our viewers who have not seen you before can come and find you?
They can find us on Facebook, Silly Point Improv, and also on Instagram for Silly Point Improv. Hopefully, whenever the quarantine zone, we could do some shows again. But right now, just check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, be sure to check them out. And honestly, thank you again so much. We really hope you had a great time. We love seeing you, and hopefully we'll see you back on soon. All right, well, that brings us to our big winner for the evening. The venerable Improv Jones has pulled it off. Congratulations, Jones. And we don't like to send anybody home empty-handed. Well, I mean, you're home, so you're not sending you home, but you know what I mean. We're going to send you something nice. But unfortunately, I don't know what that something is. Maybe giblets?
I got you. Let me fly in for the assist here. I got you, my friend.
Giblets, tell them what they won.
Of course, tonight Improv Jones will be going home with an 8-piece popsicle mold set. That's right, just add 8 ounces of your favorite juice or sweet water and also ice. We're only sending you the sticks and some cups. From Land Skyware. Land Skyware, we make the worst part of the popsicle. Chris, can I please ask, may I do a little plug here?
Absolutely, Giblets. I've given you enough time already. Why not a little more?
Thank you. I know I've been here 45 more minutes. I promise. I'm right.
Let's keep it short, Giblets.
Right. I just wanted to plug a little podcast called AM 1066. They're running a special series right now called Pigeon Boy. I know some people right here are involved, and of course it involves one of your writers, Tommy Spears. He's a terrible guy who's obsessed with birds that are also people, but his medication is really evening him out.
Well, that's good to know, and Tommy's a great dude, and we'll be sure to mention that you brought him up on the show tonight. Well, thank you very much, Giblets Montgomery. Fly safe and avoid the law at any cost. All right, well, so we're gonna send you those popsicle kits, and so that's gonna do it for us tonight. But before we say goodnight to Improv Jones, where can people find you?
Well, in lockdown right now, but you can find us on Facebook at Improv Jones. There you go.
Fantastic. Well, be sure to check out their page. Things will eventually open up at some point, and if you are in the greater New England area, you are going to want to go and see them for sure. Well, thank you again, Improv Jones, for coming out tonight. That's going to do it for us tonight on Quarantine. We want to just say a big thank you to both teams, a big thank you to you, our audience, for joining us tonight. And as I said at the top of the show, be sure to follow us. We have a website, www.quarantinethegameshow.com. You'll find links to all of our social media outlets. And also be sure to vote for us. Voting ends on February 8th for the Chicago Readers Best of 2020. We would really appreciate your votes. A lot of people work really hard on the show, and I'm so thankful for all of the hard work that they do, and this would just be a nice way to celebrate them. But in the meantime, we will be back next Tuesday night with a brand new episode with 2 new teams and all kinds of new fun. And until we see you then, as we like to say every week, stay safe, stay sane, and take care of each other. Thank you all, and have a wonderful night.